So this morning we have Kelsey on the phone, who is from Iowa, okay? She's living in Iowa, and I was just reading a little bit about her background, and the details of her family's history in farming sounds similar to my own family's history.
Right.
My parents up in Michigan, or my
I know,
grandparents
how
up
cool.
in
I
Michigan.
didn't realize that about you. That's so cool, Tim. Learn something new.
Yeah, there you go. We played around on farms when I was a kid. That was one of my favorite things, was to go up to that farm in the summer as a kid. And we had fresh food from the farm as well, I know. Oh my God, it was so good. Talk about chicken straight off the farm with no hormones or anything.
Right? Free range.
Free range right
the whole
there.
Shebang.
Anyway, Kelsey, good morning. How are you?
Hello, how are you guys today?
We're doing good. Is it as warm there in Iowa as here? Because I know the temperatures have been a little weird.
I can highly doubt that it's probably warmer here. It's in the 50s today.
What is the history of your farm? This is interesting to me because my mother's parents have a family farm that is still in the family, and it's been around for, I want to say, 7 generations, maybe 8.
Oh, wow.
And they were also hog farmers. They did a bunch of different things, but it was hogs, it was cows.
That's so funny. My mom grew up on a hog farm as well.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So how long has it been around in your family?
So I guess my brother and I are number 6. You got us beat by a generation there. My great-great-great-grandfather was the one that started it all.
Wow.
So the same, are there any original buildings still on the property? Because that was a big thing with us. The barn was still original, but some of the other stuff had been replaced. But
Well, so where we actually have the pigs is not on the original farmstead, but we do have the original Century Farm ground in the family. It's a little further down the road. There's a couple buildings. There's a big old barn. I'm not entirely sure when it was built, but I do know my family used to have dances and stuff in it, so it's a little dated, but we do still raise crops on the ground, so.
if that's dated, then I'm dated too, because we used to do that kind of stuff too when I went up to Michigan as a kid. Only it was like, more like DJs involved. But anyway, but let's talk about the farm. So you're providing food that ends up on our tables. We want to know about that. This is important to us. So what are some of your sustainable practices and initiatives that you guys try to observe on your farm?
Sure. So I guess simply put, in the field, we plant corn and soybeans for the most part here. But in the case where we plant the corn, after it gets harvested, it is fed to our pigs over a course of time for feed. And then after what's left over in the field in the corn stalks, we bale it up for bedding for our pigs. And the pigs will love it. They like to play in it, and they root around in it, and they use it to stay warm and dry. And then I guess in turn, the bedding is great with composting to start the composting process, which then will get spread back out into the field. So it's kind of a cycle.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we also use crop rotation with corn and soybeans. So we'll plant, one spot corn one year, and then the year after soybeans. That's to help mainly with nitrogen levels in the ground. And then also in Southwest Iowa here, where I'm at, our soil type is, I'm not sure if this is the proper term, but we call it less soil. It is very erodible. So we no-till our crops, which means we do not work the ground prior. We just plant directly into the bean or the corn stubble. So it kind of just keeps all that moisture and keeps all those nutrients kind of locked in.
So sorry, Terry, just to clarify real quick, you feed your pigs from food that you grow right there on the farm?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's a huge difference compared to a lot of farms. So that's interesting. Okay.
Kelsey,
absolutely.
I know that you and your family's farm is one of a network of smaller farmers and farms that work with Niman Ranch. How many farms are in the Niman Ranch network of farms? Do you know?
Yes, I do. There's 740, and I know growing, family farms and ranchers.
And that's all throughout the United States?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
How many do you know in Iowa alone, the state you're in?
I'll be honest, I do not know that answer. But I guess I can talk about all of the extra things that Niman Ranch does for us independent family farmers. But I guess that kind of sets them apart from
Oh, that's
from others.
Interesting. Yeah.
they've gone the extra mile with supporting families like mine with the Next Generation Foundation Scholarship, for example, which supports young farmers like my brother and I with our college expenses. We are, completely blessed to have been given the opportunity to go to college and to learn, those new tricks and new practices to bring them home to the farm. And because of Niman and the help of others and the generous donations, we've kind of just been able to come back home and do what we want to do.
That's awesome.
It's really good that companies are doing things like that, because some of these major companies that I'm not going to name right now are driving people like you out of the business. To be honest, I'm seeing it in my own family too. There's a lot of extended family members that had to get out because they couldn't make money in it. So, just to keep that local family farm going in America is crucial, not just for people's economic lives, but also for our food supply. Getting more sustainable products out of it. So it's really good to see that they're doing that for you guys. Now, what do you feed? Like, what's a typical family breakfast on your farm? What would you feed your family?
Oh my gosh, I love breakfast so much. I could talk about this for
You
a
and
long
me
time.
both.
Yeah.
I guess in a perfect world, if I had everything that I wanted, I would first start with making some Niman Ranch bacon, which if you haven't had the chance to try, you absolutely have to try it.
Which one is your favorite? Because there's several different ones that we carry in our grocery stores. Which one do you recommend?
I think the one that I like the most is it the applewood.
Oh, yes. Yep, mine too.
I like that little bit of sweetness. It's really good. But I also like, I guess I would cook you up some eggs, hash browns, waffles, and pancakes. And
Oh my gosh.
I could about founder myself eating French toast. So I could just have that in a meal itself.
you said waffles. You had Terri at waffles right there.
You had me actually at the bacon to begin with.
All of it actually. We're already running out of time though. This has been great, but what attracted you to pursue the opportunity to partner with Niman Ranch? I know some of it already, just from the fact that they were willing to basically
They paid for your education.
be a legitimate partner. Now that's a legitimate partner,
Absolutely. And actually, I was talking to my dad about this the other day. My dad has been raising pigs with Niman Ranch for 20 years this year. So he's been around about as long as they have. And, I've been very blessed to have grown up with the program, so I don't really know any different in life. But the reason that my dad initially entered was to enter raising pigs at a lower cost. And it was also a way for us to diversify the operation, just to add another little thing to hopefully make you a little bit of money. And going back to those sustainable practices on the farm, we already grow the corn, we already have the corn stalks. We might as well just keep it on the farm and use it to raise pigs and raise a high quality product and work with someone that's obviously been as good to us as Niman Ranch has.
Wow. Thank you so much, Kelsey. In this day and age, I think every dollar you spend is a vote for the world that you want to see. And I think spending your hard-earned dollars on Niman Ranch products is definitely helping towards a better world.
Yep. And appropriate, we're talking to you for Earth Month. So thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Now, isn't it cool that there's 740 different farms in the network?
I can't believe it. They're supporting, I love how Niman Ranch supports the small farmer.
Right.
And keeps them in business.
Exactly, because a lot of them are going out of business.
Absolutely.
My own, like the farm I was talking about there a little bit ago, my family's had to sell off a lot of their animals now because they can't monetize keeping them.
I think it's one of the hardest businesses to run, being a farmer.
Yep.
This is from someone who grew up in the prairies. It's heard from many farmers and had, same thing. Lots of family farms and friends of family farms.
Yeah.
So
740 locations in this day and age. It's very, very important to know exactly where your food comes from, because that's just as key as the kinds of food you're eating. Because if you're eating a very contaminated piece of food, even if it's normally a healthy piece of food, it doesn't matter.
Speaking of healthy, we've got a great giveaway basket we want to do now, and it's super easy. First of all, it's full of Niman Ranch products that you want, as well as Organic Valley products. So a little bit of everything for you. I'll take a video later and post it on our Facebook, because we're going to give away another one tomorrow.
That's right.
But the one today, there's a question. Tim?
Yes. Do you have the question there? It is. I know what it is.
Yes, I have it, but go ahead.
It is. How many farms are there in the Niman Valley network?
Yes.
Please tell us. We said it multiple times.
Kelsey said it.
Yep.
And all you do have to do is send us a WhatsApp, 3262999. It's 3262999. Tell us how many farms are in the network of farmers in the Niman Ranch family.
And you get that basket we got sitting over there in the fridge, which you're going to need a truck to pick it up. It's a big one. It's a big one, okay?
Hope you've been working out because it's heavy.
It is.
Full of a lot of great products.
A lot of great products from Niman Ranch. So send it in. 3262999 is our WhatsApp, and good luck.